You may be entering a high conflict divorce if you're married to a narcissist, if you and your spouse are completely cut off conversation with each other, if you two can't even be in the same room with each other, if you can't even stand the thought of them, if every attempt to have a conversation turns into a battle. These are signs that you've got a high conflict divorce coming, but don't worry, we deal with these all the time. If you've been falsely accused of anything in your divorce case or in even pre-divorce, the most important advice I have for you is document everything. You know what? In Georgia, you can actually record conversations. Georgia is a one-party state, and that means only one person on that recording needs to know the recording's happening. So things like Ring cameras, things like keeping your phone running and recording conversation between you and your high conflict accusatory spouse, do that, okay? Because their accusations can be very detrimental in court, and they can be false accusations. So the way around that is, first of all, don't do anything that's going to add gas on that flame, okay? Keep it calm if you can. Avoid them to a certain extent, not in a sense that you're going to be rewarding their behavior by avoiding them, but just document everything. Just keep a diary of what's going on. Sometimes photographs are important, just whatever evidence you can come up with to prove that you're not doing the things that they may accuse you of doing. The more documentary, auditory, and photo evidence that you have, keeping a diary, that kind of thing is going to help you to defend yourself against their false accusations. Maintaining your mental health during a high conflict divorce is super important. So let me give you some ways on how to do that. First of all, develop a good network of friends and stay close to them. Not that you want to be spewing all your garbage about what's going on in your life with them, but just there's probably a couple of close people that you can open up to and just let them know, hey, you know, I might lean on you sometimes. I might just need to vent sometimes. Another thing is physical activity. Go work out. You know, working out not only helps relieve the stress, helps you look better. So when you move on with your life after this horrible marriage and horrible divorce you're going through, you're going to be in better shape and look better. And sometimes, you know, that could be a sweet revenge. Another thing you can do, just go find some funny TikTok or YouTube videos. Comedy is, they say, what, comedy is the best medicine? Well, try it, it works. If you're represented by counsel, reach out to your counsel. We always have good advice for our clients because I've been through this many, many, many times. It might be your first time going through a divorce. I've been through hundreds and hundreds of divorces. Obviously not personally, but I've helped people like you get through them. So I know what works. I know how to diffuse certain situations. So when should you compromise during your divorce? And the answer is when you know that down the road, after you've made the compromise and gotten your case settled, you're not going to regret making that compromise. Let me give you an example. Some people just want their divorce to be over. And I understand that. It's so exhausting to go through a divorce. So a few months into the divorce, they're ready to just give in, whether it's financially, whether it's on the property settlement, whether it's on the custody, because the phrase I hear all the time is, I just want it to be over. Here's the thing you need to consider about that. If you're inclined to think that way, make sure that if you just want it to be over, that you're going to be able to have that same feeling and live with that decision you're making 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road. Because I don't want you to be coming back to me, or whoever you're using for your divorce, I don't want you to be coming back to them 2, 3, 4 weeks or months after the divorce saying, I just want it to be over and I made a bad decision, I want to change it. That's when it's really, really hard, because once you make that decision to give in, to compromise, to throw in the towel, it's really hard to change it after the fact. So make sure that you're going to be able to stand with whatever decision you're making, whatever compromise you're making. Now, sometimes you can't compromise and you shouldn't compromise. For instance, if you're in a really tough custody battle, but you know that the kids are not going to be safe with that other parent. Let's say the other parent wants 50-50 custody, and you know that's just not good for the kids. And this thing is going on and on and on, and you're exhausted with it. Don't compromise, because this is your kid's best interest at heart. And you're not going to be happy with that a month later when you realize, man, I just put my kids in that situation. So sometimes you can compromise. Sometimes you have to stand your ground no matter how exhausting it is. And we, as your attorneys, are here with you the whole way through it. Hey, I know it sucks going through a high conflict divorce. I get it. Go ahead and give us a call. Let's have a case evaluation. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about maybe what you can compromise on and what you can't. And we'll make the right decision together.